Well, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear a case on carrying concealed handguns. Professor Josh Blackman with South Texas College of Law joins me live to talk more about this. Good morning to you. Now, this actually has to do with what's going on in New York State as far as them carrying concealed handguns in public there, but it does have nationwide ramifications. So can you walk us through what's at the heart of the matter with this?
Sure. The Second Amendment protects a right to keep and bear arms. What does that mean? About 13 years ago, the court held that the Second Amendment protects the right to keep a gun in the home. Over the past 13 years, the court has not said much about guns, and now the court will consider whether the right to keep and bear arms includes the right to carry a gun outside the home.
All right, so now that we understand it, let's talk about the timing of it all, because as you look back at history, this is the first time the Supreme Court has looked at a case like this in more than a decade. Why now, and why do you think that they decided to truly take a look at this?
It's about time. The lower courts have been splitting on this issue for nearly a decade, and when the lower courts start dividing, it's the job of the Supreme Court to resolve those disputes. I think more importantly, this is an issue that affects people in maybe 24 states. In roughly half the states in the union, like in Texas, people have the right to carry outside the home so long as they're not criminals. But in places like New York, they can't. For example, in New York, to carry a gun, you need to give permit. You need to provide a reason why. You have to have some special justification. And self-defense is not enough. So you have to persuade the government to give some special reason why you need a gun. And the court will consider whether that's an appropriate requirement, or if people who meet the background check should be able to give a permit regardless of any sort of special need.
All right, let's bring it back home and talk a little more about how it will affect all of us, because Texas has long been considered a Second Amendment sanctuary state. So that being said, and moving forward, at the end of the day, how do you think whatever happens with this particular case will affect Texans?
This case probably won't affect Texans at all. Texans have very strong gun rights now, and the Supreme Court will probably not even come close to touching those rights. Of course, no matter what the Supreme Court says, states always go above and give even more gun rights, and I think Texas is in that category.
Do you think now that the Supreme Court has taken a look at this case that they may be more open to look at more in the future, and we'll continue to see a pattern of this?
I think so. There are some other gun cases on the horizon that should be considered. For example, the right to have different types of rifles, the right to have expanded capacity magazines, challenges whether nonviolent felons can have a gun. Can Martha Stewart own a firearm? These sort of white-collar criminals. There are a lot of other issues which I hope the court does take up in the near future.
All right, Professor Blackman from South Texas College of Law, thank you for walking us through all this so we can better understand what's happening. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.